During my many years of getting tattoos and researching all there is to know about them, I've heard of some pretty insane facts. So in this video, we're going to be debunking 10 of the most common tattoo myths out there. If this is your first time here, my name's Mike with EvolveINK, and on this channel, we talk all about tattoos. So if you plan on getting tattoos or you just love tattoos in general, be sure to subscribe. Starting off with the first myth that we're going to be debunking today, and that is that tattoos are permanent. Now, I know that there's a lot of people out there that will shy away from getting tattoos just because they are told they are permanent. Now, a long time ago, you could definitely say that they were, but in today's day and age, not so much. Thanks to science and medical professionals, having tattoos aren't really that permanent anymore. There's multiple ways that you could remove that tattoo if you wanted to. Getting that tattoo removed with innovative laser technology, skin grafts, surgical procedures, dermal brazing, or even removal creams. All these things make tattoos a lot less permanent. You could get rid of them at any time if you really wanted to. So tattoos being permanent in today's day and age, that's a total myth. Okay, so I gotta debunk this one ASAP, and that is that tattoos are just extremely unbearably painful. Listen, whenever somebody is telling you that tattoos are extremely painful, is usually due to two different reasons. The first reason is they're just trying to scare you out of getting that tattoo that you really want, or they are just trying to make themselves sound a lot more tough, I guess, because they got tattoos. Don't get me wrong, they hurt, but it's nothing that crazy. If they were that painful, people really wouldn't be getting them as much as people are nowadays. Pain is subjective. It varies from person to person. Some of the stories that you hear where people say tattoos are more painful than shattering bones or giving birth, that is just simply not the case. Most people, when they describe what a tattoo feels like, say that it just feels like scratching a sunburn or just a really sharp, annoying irritation. But unbearable and just extremely painful, not the case. Trust me, they are not that bad. The next myth that drives me up a wall and needs to be debunked right now is that if you have tattoos, you cannot give blood. Now, when tattoos first started to become mainstream, there was a lot of scientists and medical professionals that thought that if you had tattoos, you cannot give blood because of the chemicals in the ink. But due to medical professionals actually studying this and further research, this is simply just not true. Now, it is recommended for you to wait up to a year after getting a tattoo to donate blood, just to make sure you don't get any kind of allergic reactions to the ink and to make sure the tattoo heals up perfectly. But yeah, don't listen to the people that say if you have tattoos, you can't donate blood. You can, so go do it. It's for a good cause. Another myth that drives me up a wall that needs to be debunked right now regarding tattoos is that having tattoos or getting them can cause cancer. What? When I saw this myth going around the internet and becoming so popular, I was just baffled and thinking to myself, how do people really feed into this and believe it? Scientists and medical professionals have been studying this for years, and there's no hard evidence that having or getting tattoos can cause cancer. Again, if somebody is going up to you and telling you this, it's most likely to scare you out of getting a tattoo. So just tell them that this myth is debunked. This next myth cracks me up, and I still can't believe people think like this. I would love to know what you think, and that is that only sailors, bikers, and criminals have tattoos. Now, you'll typically hear this from old lady Betty that has been living under a rock for the past 50 years, but even your everyday old Karen knows that this is not true. Now, at a time in history, there was stereotypes out there that said only people that have tattoos were sailors, bikers, and criminals, but in today's day and age, that is just simply not the case. Studies prove that most people view tattoos as an art form. In 2020, a study revealed that 36% of Americans from the age of 18 to 29 at least have one tattoo. Doctors, lawyers, business owners, just everybody is just getting tattoos nowadays. Getting inked isn't just for the risk takers in our society. They are for people from all walks of life. So myth busted. Oof, I've seen this one recently. This next one we need to debunk is that your tattoo will heal faster if you apply healing ointment excessively. Now, I'm guessing the people that believe this don't watch EvolveINK, and shame on them. Because if they did, they would know that this is just simply not true. Now, you need to keep your new tattoo hydrated and nourished while it heals. But what is important to note is that if you add too much product to that new healing tattoo, you're going to suffocate the skin, and that will disturb the healing process. So instead of it healing faster, you're more prone to ruining the tattoo completely or just making it take longer to heal. Thin layer, 3 to 5 times a day. That's all you need. All right, the next myth that we're gonna be debunking is that tattoos are extremely expensive. Getting good tattoos, they aren't cheap all the time, but with that being said, they're not always super expensive to get a good quality tattoo. If you're keen to want to find a good bargain, they're out there. You'll be surprised that that design, that beautiful tattoo that you've been dreaming about getting, you can find a really good artist at a rate that won't break your budget. You just got to take your time to look around for one. You wouldn't believe some of the mind-blowing, amazing tattoos that I've seen out there. And then when I see what the price is, I'm like, holy crap, you got that thing for a pretty good bargain. If you want to get that good tattoo, don't just let the price be the deciding factor. Shop around a little bit. Cheap tattoos aren't good and good tattoos aren't cheap, but that doesn't mean you have to spend a bunch of money all the time. Oh my God, so this is another one that I always hear, and it's usually from people that don't have tattoos, and that is that tattoos, they bleed a lot. This is one of the most common myths about tattoos, and I need to debunk it right now because I know so many people get a little lightheaded and woozy whenever they see or think of blood. But listen, there's really not much blood at all when you get tattooed. It is common to see just a little bit of blood as soon as the tattoo session starts, but within say 5 to 10 minutes or so, the bleeding completely stops. And even when it was bleeding, it's drops, not even a lot at all. The only time that you'll ever hear of anybody bleeding a lot during a tattoo session is if they do things to thin out their blood, like drinking caffeine, drinking alcohol, or taking painkillers that thin out your blood. And the whole drinking thing, the next myth that needs to be debunked is that if you go into a tattoo session drunk, it's gonna allow the tattoo to hurt less. Ugh. Drinking alcohol will thin out your blood, allowing your body to bleed a lot more while that tattoo is getting applied. Not only can this complicate the process for your tattoo artist, but it can also be a really messy situation. Going in drunk will just make your tattoo experience much less enjoyable for not only you, but your tattoo artist as well. It's gonna take a lot longer, and it's actually gonna be a lot more painful, not a lot less painful. Don't listen to that you see online. Go in sober, myth debunked. This is the next one. If people just did the research, that they would know that this is just a myth, and that is that having tattoos can cause a lot of health problems. People think if you have tattoos, you'll get sick more often, you're more prone to skin conditions, just a lot of bad stuff. Yeah, that's false. Having tattoos actually does the exact opposite. There are studies that show that having tattoos actually gives you health benefits. For example, having tattoos can increase antibodies that help fight against common infections like the cold or the flu. Again, somebody that's trying to tell you that having tattoos can actually cause health conditions, they're just trying to scare you, and this is just a myth. Now, I recommend you check out this video right here, and if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.